Man, if it ain't one thing, it's another. Dang on it. Welcome to Kevin's Corner, where I try to make some sense out of nonsense, ladies and gents. This is your first time joining the show. Please hit the like button, share my videos, all that good stuff. Just suffer from some new technical difficulties that I did not even know existed. Yeah, so apparently YouTube have a new setting you have to go through to go live. So just one more uncomfortable step that you have to go through. Let's see here. Let's see which one here is functioning. Let's see. There we go. All right. So yeah, YouTube has another uncomfortable step that they were making me go through just to get going, and it was a pain in the butt. I had to figure it out because it's new. I mean, just sprang it on me right here, right off the top of their dome, I guess. So now you got to go into a new setting, and you got to push something more jigger to get it to go. I don't like it. But I'm sure they do, because it slows up the process and jams you up and, make you have to read stuff right on the fly. It's just a pain in the butt. Welcome to the show, guys. I hope you had a great weekend. Still not feeling that great, y'all. I'm feeling mighty, mighty low, but not too low to give a blow to the left in their crazy narratives. So before we do that, this number right here, 330-974-4607. If you text MAGA to that number, please do that, and I will keep you in a loop of what's going on in Kevin's Corner, okay? Just in case the man tried to play games with me like they just did with a new button I had to push. It's unbelievable. I'm sitting there trying to figure it out. Like, what are you talking about? What do you mean I got to rotate or go in and check this box and this and that? I didn't have to do that last week. It's unreal. Ooh, they burned me up. Anyway, please do that. Secondly, for those that have been participating in my monthly fundraising campaign here, thank you so much. There's a link right below this video if you want to help out the channel. You can click on it and you can see where we're at when it comes down to the fundraising project that I'm trying to do, so I don't have to deal with these people right here. So thank you so much if you have been participating in that. We're still, of course, chugging along. We got, I think, maybe like 18 more days. So anything you can do, great. I'd appreciate it. Hit the like button, share my videos. Now, if you were around last week, you know that I was exposing Mayor Garland because he stinks. I was exposing how stinky he was by showing how badly he was abused up on the Capitol. And I wasn't finished with this stinkiness, okay? So we're going to finish that tonight. And actually, I ran across another clip that I was like, ooh, if I would have caught this one earlier, it would have got put in there too. But I'm sure we'll get to it as well. So with no further ado, since we're already behind due to the shenanigans of the new, I guess, button I got to push here to go live, let's go ahead and get into it. But first, even though I'm a little stiff and a little sore and achy. Oh, what's this? Where's my sound? One other obstacle, another obstacle. That's what I'm looking at. God dog it. Okay, that wouldn't have been on me. That was on me. Okay. Real gorilla. Real gorilla. Gorillas in here. Gorilla in here. Gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. That's right. It's gorillas in here. Now, y'all saw last week where the rat nose, stinking, disgusting Mayor Garlic was getting his butt beat by all the people in Congress, and he was giving all kind of bootleg answers. Sometimes he didn't even try. Sometimes that man just straight was like, you know what, this is not even worth trying. I'm only going to embarrass myself even more if I try. So I forget who we left off with, but boy, I tell you, coming down the stretch, watching these last couple rounds, ooh, wee, they get juicy now. If you have small children, if you don't want them to see a bloody massacre, please send them to bed. Send them to bed. if you have a weak stomach and you don't want to see a bloody massacre, you might want to look away or do what my mom used to do, is spread the fingers back and forth when she, yeah, there you go. You might want to do that because it's going to get ugly. So with no further ado, let's see how Mayor Garlick fared up there on the Capitol, trying to convince us that it's not a two-tier justice system and he's an upstanding top cop.
Policy of your office for U.S. attorneys to use prosecutorial quotas.
I'm sorry, I'm having a little difficulty hearing.
Okay, I'll get right on top of this thing. Is it the policy of your office for U.S. attorneys to use prosecutorial quotas?
To prosecute?
Yeah, do you have any prosecutorial quotas system in place?
No.
None whatsoever. That'd be anathema to your office then, right? I mean, it's not a policy. So would you
we don't, correct, we do not have quotas.
Would it be consistent with that when you have a prosecutor said that he wants to prosecute at least 2,000 people who are alleged to have committed a certain type of crime?
Now, see, this is how sorry of a fighter Mucus is. He didn't see that punch coming. I mean, the man asked you a question for a reason. You think he asked that question just because he thought it was a cool question to ask? He's setting you up, Mucus. You got to learn, man, to see it. You got to read your cues, man. He telegraphed that from way away. Like, all right, look, man, it's your policy to do these things here, and what the question is? Is it your policy to do these things? No. Why do you think he asked that question, Mucus? Because for whatever reason, he found contrary information to what you just said. But hey, here we go.
So look, I think you're referring to the January 6th question.
I'm just asking you, would that be consistent with your office's policy?
Yes.
If somebody said we're going to get up to 2,000 people on a particular crime. Is that consistent with your policy?
I think what that U.S. Attorney was referring to was a prediction for how many more cases would still be brought, because the court had asked how many more people have
filed a letter.
Who are you, Clubber Lang? Predictions, pain. So now, these are all predictions based on what? Unnecessary prosecutions. All of these are predictions based on an over drastic effort to go after every single person that laid foot on the Capitol's property. That's what that is, regardless of why they laid foot, regardless of them being ignorant, regardless of the dang on police officers escorting them in like they were rushing them past third base. You're good. All of that. So could it be that you guys are trying to trump up the numbers so that you could make it appear that this was the worst attack on our country since 9/11 and World War II and Pearl Harbor and all of that stuff? Because it sounds like you're trying to pad the numbers. Okay, even the whistleblowers have said that they've been trying to label all of these people as extremists. They're going heavy-handed. They're opening up all these field offices to go after all these folks to make it look like this is a national issue and we're being bombarded by dang on domestic terrorists, white nationalists, and extremists. So yes, there's a quota, Garlic. See, if you guys didn't have a quota, or at least going in that direction, you wouldn't be putting together all of these new memos and bulletins to show these people could be extremists if they have this, and that, if they wear this item, if they have this flag, if they own this gun, all of that stuff. What it sounds like to me is that you're trying to meet a quota because there's not enough white supremacist extremists and stuff running around the country. So you guys have to drum it up. So let's continue though, because now he's about to get punched right up under his chin.
With the court saying that we're looking at upwards of 2,000. We've got 1,200 more that we think we're going to get.
1,200.
So you don't do that for anything else, right? So you don't have anything like tax fraud. You're not saying, okay, we're going to have so many people that we want to get for tax fraud, so many people we want to get
we don't have
federal
firearms.
firearms.
The court asks us what the likely workload will be based on prosecutions and investigations that are pending. The U.S. Attorney is obligated to respond.
Did you guys provide any reference of the number of people you thought you would prosecute who were involved in the 2020 summer riots of the burning of the Portland courthouse?
Right up under the chin. Crap. I can't believe I walked right into that, Garlic. I knew he was going there for a reason. Now I have to act like we are fair and balanced and we're putting the same effort into going after all of the real domestic terrorists as we are going after all of the drummed up ones. Because that's exactly what is happening. I don't hear them coming out. All right, we investigated 15,000 looters and folks that were burning down buildings and all of that stuff, and we're still expecting another process. You know why? Because they're not even looking into it. They're not even putting an effort into going after these people. You know that those people aren't even on the FBI or the DOJ's radar whatsoever. You probably would have to do something so drastic and blatant for them to actually arrest you as an Antifian and as a Black Lives Mattering. But these folks, it was up there in J6, they're putting all the efforts into going after them. So now that's a legitimate question. Let's see how Garlick answers it.
People inside those courthouses. You didn't ever file with the court or anything, say, oh, we think we're going to have another 300, 400, whatever it may be.
So wait, are you telling me that during that summer of love, they tried to burn down a courthouse with people in it? And you telling me ain't nothing happening? No movement on that? What's the progress? What's the progress? Where are we at with those numbers? How many, Garlic?
Because you didn't file those charges, did you?
I'm sorry, I'm not following. I believe that
you're not.
I'm sure you're not.
number that you're at.
You see that? Mucus tried to tie him up and play dumb. Talking about that. I'm sorry, I'm not following that. He said, you know what? I bet you're not. Yeah. A quick, short, stocky one right up under the chin, brought his head straight up, made him reminisce and reflect over his whole life. Tie you up. Bad. I'm not familiar with those. Are you familiar with that? Huh? How did I get here, Garlic? Boy, I tell you, I didn't think I would ever become this corrupt. Now I'm getting beat up right here on national TV. So let's continue. Because, yeah, I bet you're not either.
Asking about was
Let me ask you this question.
objection that the court had asked the U.S. Attorney to make.
Let's switch topics. Maybe this one would be easier to follow, I suppose.
Follow the bouncing ball. Now he's in there playing with him, y'all. Because Garlic is on the ropes. My man in here like, he's hitting you with the Popeye. Wearing him out. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. So let's finish hearing him give him some of these big old Popeye blows.
The policy of the DOJ to provide advance notice to subjects before conducting a search.
Yes, when
for
it is
evidence.
me because I'm a dirty cop.
Totally depends on the circumstance.
If the circumstance were that you had a guest house where the deputy U.S. attorney saying, well, we know that we suspect there's a lot of evidence there, but we're not gonna really.
I cannot comment on this.
And calls the attorney from the other side saying we're going to do a search warrant. Would that be consistent with your policy?
Again, I know this is no hypothetical, and I don't know the facts of this case, and I don't know what happened, and I believe the events you're talking about, as reported in the press, occurred under the previous administration. So
no.
How many times do you think he can get away with that technique? With that response? I don't know that. Facts have this. These are high profile cases. These are cases that you should be on top of and know all of the details, just in case you might have a rogue prosecutor in the DOJ that goes off script. Somebody who might just have some biases that might show up in a case where they let the statutes of limitations just, expire. You need to know those things, Mucus. You need to follow up. What do? You just assign a couple people to a case and then go somewhere and sit down and relax and wait for the results? Never following up, never checking in. Don't follow the news. Don't hear about whistleblowers coming out and exposing all of this crap. Nothing. But you do follow the news when it comes down to them reporting that there are parents at these school board meetings that are threatening and putting people lives in danger because they don't want their kids being, abused with the whole information about what you can be and all that stuff by blinking. You read the news and that made you use those clips as a predicate to launch a memo talking about these are domestic terrorist parents. Isn't that funny? It's funny how you follow the details of the news and what's going on and what's being reported when it helps launch you into some more tyranny and threats of innocent Americans to shut their mouths and to not be a pain in the butt to you and the Democrat Party. But now all of a sudden, this man brings up a legitimate scenario. Mucus knows what scenario he's talking about. And then I don't know the details. Shouldn't you know that, though? Shouldn't you know that, Mucus? See, now you got to go ahead and get both eyes shut.
No, No, that event didn't happen in the previous administration. Let's talk about that. I mean, you keep saying this happened in the previous administration.
That's another technique of his.
But let's talk about this for just a moment. You keep saying, I don't know what happened there, but I'm going to opine when it happened. You see the fallacy of that, the inconsistencies? I don't know when it happened. I don't know what happened because I'm not involved, but it happened under the previous administration. That's so logically fallacious.
I'm sorry, I'm not following what's.
Yeah, I know you're not following. So the question.
Boy, he making him look dumb. Like, how did you get a law degree and just think this dude might have ended up on a Supreme Court justice as a full activist? My man might have came in with a full-blown rainbow robe on. That's sitting there. This is the new issued robe. It's a rainbow-colored robe, and I just recently dyed my hair purple. And under this robe, I'm wearing camel toe sandals. Now, let's begin. That guy would have been a full-blown activist on the Supreme Court justice. And he don't even know. He don't even know these things. He's just like, yeah, I mean, I'm lost. What are you trying to say here? I can't put these clues together. Wow, this means nothing to me. I don't. What? I was supposed to know about that? That's crazy. That's in my job description? Phew. Maybe I'm underqualified.
Question is, you've got one of your deputy U.S. attorneys calling the attorney on this side saying, look, we're going to go to these two places, probably go in the next couple of days. And of course, then ultimately the search warrant is called off.
Ironic.
I just want to know, is it consistent to call up people and where you know that they've got boxes of information or you suspect they have boxes of information? That's why you got the warrant. That's why you're going to go look. A heads up so they can move those boxes of information. Would that be consistent with DOJ policy?
I'm just going to say.
No, it's consistent with Democrat policies, deep state policies. You know, kind of like when they told Joe Biden, we're going to be coming to check your crib for all those classified documents and stuff that you shouldn't have had, especially when you were a senator. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and check your crib for all of that stuff. Trump, we're just going to show up with a subpoena. Here you go. Everybody stand down. We're going in. See, so is that two-tiered? Did I just have an example? Not according to Garlic, though. Not according to Garlic. We are fair and balanced.
Say again, you're asking me actually to comment about allegations in a particular case about.
No, I'm not. I'm asking you, is that consistent with your overall policy? Forget Delaware and what they did and that they actually did that. Let's just talk about generic policy.
Sorry, I thought you were asking about Mar-a-Lago.
You hear that? Yeah, I'm sorry. Is that supposed to be a jokey joke? I'm sorry. I thought you know what? I got a good mind to grab you by that big old crooked rat nose with both of these and hit you with that. Three Stooger you. So here he is. I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about the.
Oh, yeah. La-di-da. So when we're talking about this, when we're talking about your general policy, is it your policy? Is that acceptable when you suspect that there are movable items to call up and say we're gonna be there to look?
Yeah, there's no policy on this question. The strategy and tactics to be used to preserve evidence are left up to the investigators and offices on the ground. Sometimes it would be a serious mistake to call up. Sometimes
and here.
Now you hear this, bum? After he just got the
la-di-da-di, we like the party. We don't start trouble. We don't bother nobody. We're just some crooks that's on the mic.
That guy.
And when we rock upon the mic, we rock the mic.
That guy just got up there with that la-di-da-di response and say, it's up to the men and women at the ground level who just would do whatever they want, even if it is corrupt and it's out of my hands and I have no responsibility to do anything. Unbelievable. Dana Dane, baby. I wonder where that guy is right now. Hey, tomorrow I'm going to be talking about Joe Biden's extensive knowledge of the rap history and all of the rappers that came out and stuff like that. You know, MC Bright. And L Cool J, is LLJ Cool, something like that. I'm sure he knows all of them, all of the old school rappers, because he's in touch with black people. Did y'all see him today out there dropping all of that information about those old school rappers? We'll be talking about that tomorrow. Let's continue.
Here, once again, you don't know what happened in the Hunter Biden case because that's somebody else is doing it. But you can be sure of the timing of when all this took place. That is one of the biggest oddities of your testimony today. I guess I'm just wondering, Mr. Attorney General, has anyone at the department told President Biden to knock it off with Hunter? I mean, you guys are charging Hunter.
Now, he barely escaped that last round. Now, you see who's in there now with him. You see who's in there right now. This man in there like, I must break you. I will not be defeated. I will destroy all man. I'm real champion. If Garlic dies, he died. Doom, 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 doom. Go ahead, Matt. Get him.
Hunter Biden on some crimes, investigating him on others. You've got the president bringing Hunter Biden around to state dinners. Has anyone told him to knock it off?
Our job in the Justice Department is to pursue our cases without reference to what's happening in the outside world.
But just yes or no.
Now, you hear this? You hear how he describes the job description on face value, how it should be, but all of his activities are opposite of what he's describing. The job of the Department of Justice is to be fair and balanced and to not discriminate on all of that crap. All you're doing is reading the bio. All you're doing is just reading the whole description of it, which should be written the way you read. Hopefully everybody was. See, that's like reading the Constitution. We follow the Constitution, which says, and you get done reading and you say, everything you're doing is opposite of what you just read. You're trying to get me to focus on what you just read to me and not on the fact that you're doing everything opposite of what you just read. You want me to assume you're doing that. And no, there's a disconnect, Garlic.
Oh, have you done that?
That is what we do.
So it's a no?
No one that I know of has spoken to the White House about the Hunter Biden case.
I'm wondering then.
Not.
Okay, I got it. So Hunter Biden is selling art to pay for his $15,000 a month rent in Malibu. How can you guarantee that the people buying that art aren't doing so to gain favor with the president?
Man, I want some of that art money too. They ain't going to, you can't tell me that Hunter Biden is a better artist than Kev from Kevin's Corner. Hold on, wait a minute. Where's my pen? Okay, this is some bull crap. All right. Since everybody's getting paid, I want some of that money too. Let's see what I got here. All right, Doc. Here's a piece of paper. I'm about to sell my art for 100 quadrillion dollars. Okay, and this right here is a rough draft of my beautiful new latest piece of art. And this is called Essence of Garlic. This right here is a self-portrait of Garlic, Mayor Garlic. I will be selling this right here on the auction for like 100 quadrillion dollars because I want to pay for my Malibu place $15,000 a month. There you go. That piece of artwork right here has to be better than dang on Hunter Biden stuff. You gotta be kidding me. If that man's an artist, everybody's an artist. I should just take my thumbs and fingers and start just sticking them all over the paper like this and then put a big behind price tag on it so I can get paid too. So here we go.
Job of the Justice Department is to investigate criminal allegations. You have information.
Are you investigating this? I mean, someone who bought Hunter Biden's art ended up with a prestigious appointment to a federal position. Doesn't it look weird that he's become this immediate success in the art world as his dad?
Yeah. See, my bad. My artwork was incomplete. I put the glasses on him. See, there we go. Yeah. Now it looks just like Garlic. Let's continue.
Dad is president of the United States. Isn't that odd?
I'm not going to comment about any specific...
Not going to comment, not going to investigate. So
right.
Hunter Biden associate Devin Archer told us that Hunter sold the appearance of access to then Vice President Biden. Are you confident he has stopped doing that?
I'm sorry, I didn't understand the question.
I bet you didn't.
Hunter Biden associate Devin Archer told us that Hunter sold the appearance of access to then Vice President Biden. Are you confident he has stopped?
I'm going to say again that all these matters are with...
Confident that he had stopped, you could...
And I do not intend to interfere with him.
I bet you don't. You do not intend to interfere because you already know that guy's doing your bidding. But y'all hear the word salad? Y'all hear him trying to run around that ring? Round and round that mulberry bush. Pop goes that weasel. Pop goes that weasel. So the weasel is running around the ring talking about Yes, that's responsibility of other people, and it has nothing to do with me. And I'm totally unfamiliar with the case and sources of methods. And of course, you can appreciate the fact that I cannot comment on an ongoing investigation. And you could talk to him later on, and he can answer all the questions that I should have the answer to. That's what he's doing. That's all he's doing. So Matt got to go to the jugular vein on this guy.
So it was a lot of Chinese money that was working its way through these shell companies
China?
into the accounts of the Biden family. So the China initiative was set up during the Trump administration at the Department of Justice to go after the malign influence of the Chinese Communist Party.
Because Trump was America first. He was America first. And he knew China was sticking it to us, so he was doing things to like combat that and stuff. Those are things that Americans should say, yeah, that's what a leader should do. But then all of a sudden, what happened, Matt?
And the Biden Justice Department dissolved the China initiative. So I guess I'm wondering, does the department have any documents that would detail the basis for why you got rid of the China initiative that President Trump had set up?
Now, see, this is a good lesson to learn right here. Just a school of thought, a way to process and try to come to some conclusions of what drives policy. All right, so now, every time a policy is changed, there's a couple of things that should come to your mind. Number one, the policy that's being changed, is it not working? Number two, if you change the policy because you claim that it's not working, and you come up with a policy that is worse, and it creates a bigger problem than the one you just changed, then you have to ask yourself, why did you change that policy to something else that isn't working, but yet said that that policy was not working and that's why you changed it? Number three, you should be asking yourself, by changing the policy, who does it benefit? Does it benefit the American people and make their lives better? Or does it somehow benefit the people who changed the policy? If it benefited them, then the next question and the final one should be, how does it benefit them? What is their end game? If the policy has been changed and it seems to not benefit the people and it seems to create a bigger problem than the policy that it was changed from, then what is the reason behind it? Not the reason they tell you. The reason, the real reason. Because see, they're going to tell you, like you take, for example, the illegal immigration policies. Here we had Trump having policies in place that were working, had illegal crossing down to 30,000 people a month by the time he left. Now, they come in and said his policies weren't working. And then they go ahead and unravel all of his policies and the problem gets worse. Then they say that his policies back then were inhumane. That's why we had to change them. And these people are coming here for a better life and they need asylum and they're running from climate change and all of this stuff like that. Now, you know that's not the real reason. So this should drive your intelligence and common sense to say, now we know that's bullcrap. So please tell me, what could be the real reason? After they get finished telling you all that crap, you have to ask them. Now, I'm going to give you an example of that. And this is how you shut people down sometimes, right? You have to expose their motives. I went to a Christian conference in college. I didn't really even want to go, but it was in Atlanta, Georgia. And I mean, I'm thinking it's going to be all kind of honeys down there. And my boy invited me. One of my female friends invited me, actually. I was like, what? Atlanta? All black college students? I think I better go and investigate this Christianity you speak of. I get down there and I end up running across this older lady who had just got done speaking in one of the conferences. So I go ahead and I saw her walking down the hall and I say, excuse me, miss, I want to talk to you. She said, okay. Now here she is, a grown woman. I'm a snotty-nosed college student and I'm going to chastise her because she just gave a lecture that seemed to have come down my street. Everything she was saying seemed to touch on things that Kev was guilty of. And I'm looking around like, who told her about my personal life? Man, I don't know this woman. Man, what you tell her? So now I'm up in her room. She said, so what's going on? And I go in to listen, let me tell you something. I heard what you had said in that conference. You know what? You on this and that. And I got my speech all perfect and put together. And I'm thinking I'm dropping it on her. Dropping it. And she says, out of nowhere, she just changes the subject. She says, this little Pop-Tart in here trying to Putin fought around with me. Let me get to the nitty gritty. She says, why haven't you given your life to Christ yet? I said, what? What that got to do with what I was just saying? She said, no. Have you given your life to Christ yet? And I said, no. She says, why not? Now, I went into my speech. I had it prepared, y'all. First of all, the Bible been translated so many times. Let me tell you how you know it's real. And you know what, man? You got so many different gods. I mean, which one can you honestly say your God is the only God? Went down all of that. And she sat there and listened to me. And after I got done, she says, now what's the real reason you haven't given your life to Christ? I was like, I thought I just gave you the real reason. But she saw through all of that bull crap. And I had to come clean and just say, I ain't ready to stop doing the things Kev like to do. What? I ain't ready to stop doing the things I like to do. I'm selfish. Okay, good. Now I can work with you. Now I got to the real motive of why you haven't done this. So when it comes down to these Democrats and you see them on TV constantly up there talking about, we're doing this for the kids. We're doing this for whatever. That's what they're telling you. But then you got to ask them, but what's the real reason? Because all the reasons you're giving to us right now, saying we're doing this because of humanitarian issues, we're doing this. It's strange how it's counterproductive to what's going on in our country. It hurts us. So you can't really be doing that. You can't sit back and say, we're going to do this for all these other people while destroying the people we love, destroying the people we're supposed to be helping. It's a selfish motive somewhere in there. And you always got to get to that selfish motive. Now, with that being said, I'm sorry I got a little sidetracked, but I had to expose that. Okay, it just reminded me of something. Now, let's continue. Matt Gaetz, finish him.
Assistant Attorney General for the National Security Division gave a long speech which explained that. He has testified before Congress several times. We'd be happy to provide you with...
What's the basis? Just tell us all now. Why was the China initiative dissolved?
Because we are the old
China. The Assistant Attorney General said was that we face attacks from 4 nation states: North Korea, China, Russia, and Iran, and that we need to focus our attention on the broad range of these attacks. Sometimes we don't know.
Wait a second. Are you saying that North Korea has the same malign influence risk to the United States as the Chinese Communist Party?
Neck punch is coming right there. That's right. I want him to think about it. That's what I want. I want this neck punch to be so hard that 6 weeks from now, Garland is sitting somewhere with that fist still in his neck thinking about it. Like, yes, there's still a fist right in the side of my neck. So it's now a part of the fixture. And so whenever you see me, you'll see Matt Gaetz' fist stuck right here in the side of my neck. That's what's about to happen. As this fool tried to get up here and tell us, we decided to prioritize North Korea over China. That's why we dropped all the charges and all of the restrictions and all of the tariffs and all of that stuff for China. And China has done way more damage to us than North Korea. But this guy's about to try to sell us on this.
Are you trying to represent there's some parity there? Because here's what it looks like. It looks like the Chinese gave all this money to the Bidens, and then you guys came in and got rid of the China initiative, and it was successful. Like, I saw one rationale that you guys got rid of the China initiative because it was racial profiling.
Oh, yeah.
But one of the people you
Here's one of those moments, y'all. See, do you think they really got rid of it because it was racial profiling? Do you think these people care about some dang on racial profiling? They constantly racial profile all the time because they dibble and dabble in identity politics, which is racial profiling. So they put together that crap all the time. We got the Jews that are victims. We got the women. We got gay and lesbians. We got whites. We got aborigines. We got all of these people that are victims, even if they say they're not. You're racial profiling us. So let's continue.
Was a guy named Charles Lieber, who was a Harvard professor taking $50,000 a month to do China's bidding and give them whatever research was being done. Are you aware of the millions of dollars that moved through Rob Walker's shell companies from Chinese Communist Party entities into family bank accounts? Are you aware of that?
There were a lot of questions that you just asked. Let me start with the first one about North Korea. North Korea is a dangerous actor, both kinetically and with respect to cyber.
But not on par with China. I'm on the Armed Services Committee.
I'm not in the business right now.
It makes you look unserious to suggest
that.
There you go. Thank you. It makes you look unserious because you are unserious, Garlic. You are unserious, thing on it, with that big fat rat nose. Okay? That rat nose is hanging over your whole mouth. I can barely see your lips move because of how long and corrupt and crooked that rat nose is. So rat nose garlic got the nerve to try to focus all the attention and redirect it on some dang on North Korea. I'd just like to say I want to start talking about North Korea to try to filibust and run out the clock because I'm getting the mess beat out of me in this ring right here. Unreal. And so Matt had to cut it off. Once again, expose the motive. I see what you're trying to do. Let me tell you, it makes you look unserious because, see, I know exactly the truth. Everybody knows the truth, but you're going to try to gaslight the people who don't. You're going to try to get up here and focus on North Korea. They are an existential threat, and they are the most dangerous threat. And he's going to stop. See, now you're playing games. You look unserious. Yeah, you're being exposed as someone who's trying to run out the clock, and you don't know what the heck to say about this whole thing with China. The biggest threat. All these context clues. Top cop. You're supposed to be smart. You're supposed to be able to put this together. Let me get it straight. Joe lied and said his son never received money from China, and he did. Trump was tough on China. Joe Biden and his crackhead son received $1.5 billion deal. And then all of a sudden, all the restrictions start getting removed from China. Could that be pay to play, some type of corruption going on? That's what a real legitimate top cop should be thinking. But this guy's focused on North Korea.
Answer the question about whether or not you know about all the millions of dollars that
No,
moved
you don't
to Rob
want me to
Walker's.
answer about North Korea.
I already know the answer, and so does everyone. They're not the same risk as China. So let's get on to serious questions and serious answers. Do you know about the money that...
So because of Garlic's weak attempt to try to get us to focus on North Korea, I'm going to allow Matt Gaetz pulling a Bugs Bunny move by sliding a brick inside of his glove. Okay? Putting the glove back on and socking Garlic right in that nose. Remove the whole nose off the face. I'll allow the brick in the glove for that particular punch right there. So look, man, I'm not going to get stuck and caught up on you talking about some North Korea, okay? Because that's what you would love to talk about versus all this money coming from China. So what we already know the answer, everybody does. Let's not go ahead and play around. You're trying to belittle our intelligence. And I'm not going to let it happen. So I'm going to allow the brick in the glove punch right there that Matt just dropped on him.
Moved through Rob Walker's shell companies, yes or no?
As I have said repeatedly, I have left these matters to Mr. Weiss.
It's not my responsibility.
Blissfully
I've
ignorant
not
to these
tried to
things.
find out
Blissfully
what
ignorant.
Looking the other way on purpose because everybody knows this stuff's happening. And you know what? People don't pay bribes to not get something in return. Right? The China initiative resulted in the convictions of a Harvard professor, of someone at Monsanto. So we were working against the Chinese. They paid the Bidens, and now you're sitting here telling me that North Korea is the big threat. I got to get to this one thing on January 6th.
Wow. Garlic, you're looking bad in the ring. You're looking completely out of shape right about now and there. So now he wants us to just go ahead and believe these are all coincidences, right? They're not connected. There's no backhand deals that's going on. The Biden administration just got in office and decided this would be a good idea to go ahead and drop all the sanctions against the country that created the dang on you-know-what virus. Well, why punish them when we had our own guy helping them out? See, these are things that you should be asking yourself. Like, wait a minute. If these people put together this mess and lied about it, Joseph Biden, it did not come from our Wuhan lab. It came from a sweatshop right next door. And you just go, okay, Jay, I'm on it. That's stupid. Now we find out all of this, and yet restrictions relieved from China. What could be the motivation there, guys? Unbelievable. So now Matt got to go ahead and move on with this last punch to Mayor Garlic's big fat nose.
Did the FBI lose count of the number of paid informants on January 6th?
Let me answer your question about China.
I want you to-
Yes, I want to go back to China because now you're going to force me to lie in front of all of y'all and make myself look incompetent and might even perjure myself.
5 minutes. You've already sort of, I think, screwed the pooch on China. So January 6th, did you lose count of the number of federal assets? Did you lose count and order an audit?
Gentleman's time has expired.
Oh,
I get an answer to the question of did they lose
No,
count?
let him answer the
The
question.
time has expired. The Attorney General can respond.
China is the most aggressive,
What?
most dangerous adversary
Attorney
that the
General, I think
United States faces, and we are doing
We don't want no
everything
know about
within our
no-
power to rebut that, to stop that.
y'all hear this dude in the after round interview? All right, we noticed throughout the fight when the whole question and the assault concerning China happened, you managed to not block one punch. We saw that you balled up in a fetal position while Matt Gaetz was tenderizing your ribs and your jaw and your eyes and pretty much everything on your whole body. I think I once saw him hit you in the bottom of the foot. We don't even know how that happened. Hit you in the bottom of the foot. So everything on you is bruised. Could you go ahead and recap what was going through your head when he was asking you about the China initiative, and why were you focused on that instead of answering the question about the J6 people? See, you were stuck on China while he was punching you in the face, and you're still on China. That can I talk about China? If you would have moved on, maybe you wouldn't have got tenderized on your whole body. So what was going through your mind? So let's continue and hear what he has to say about China, which we don't want to know about.
That to prevent their invasions, both kinetic, and through cyberspace, and we will continue.
If someone gave that answer in your courtroom when you were a judge, you would tell them they were being
Mr.
non-responsive,
Chairman,
and you would direct them to answer the question.
Point of order, Your
Expired.
Honor.
Time has.
Come to his
Gentleman asked
rescue.
his question before his time expired. The Attorney General did not respond to the gentleman's question. I was hoping he would respond to the question about the confidential human sources on January 6th. He didn't respond to that.
To direct your attention.
He didn't respond to that. So now somebody else got to jump in the ring and punch him in the face. So now here he is, guys. I think this might be second to the last round. Oh, yeah. So how do y'all score the fight so far? Garlic, has he won any rounds? Scored any point? No. It's probably 0 to about 10 right about now. So let's go ahead and see if he does better in this round.
To video here that we're going to play.
Obviously, that's a significant matter. It is an ongoing criminal investigation, and so I'm not going to comment on an ongoing criminal investigation.
Ongoing.
Were those pipe bombs operable?
Again,
The ATF is the expert.
Again, it's an ongoing and criminal investigation, and under long-standing policy, I cannot comment.
As you know, this is a very active, ongoing investigation, and there are
There's
some
another rat
restrictions
nose.
on that, but we will
Yes,
do
we
our
can
best
handle
to respond.
classified information, and we fund your department, and so you need to provide that.
There you go.
It's not,
Classified.
respectfully, it's not an issue of classification. It's an issue of commenting on ongoing criminal
I
investigations,
know,
which
we
is
know.
something
We've
that by
all heard it.
longstanding department policy, we are restricted in doing. And in fact, the last administration actually strengthened those policies partly because.
That's not our policy, though, and we fund you, so let's move on.
I could-
Do you know how?
So I'm not going to violate this law.
Oh, there's Garlic in one of his last fights. Now, you would hope that he'd been watching the film. Okay, because this man is starting off with the film. Okay, so here's the film from the past. Hopefully, Garlic has learned from the past, and he's upped his game.
Of the rule of law. I'm not going to comment on an investigation that's ongoing.
Peter Navarro was indicted for contempt of Congress. Aren't you, in fact, in contempt of Congress when you give us this answer? This is an answer that's appropriate at a press conference. It's not an.
And this took place on my birthday. What a wonderful birthday present. It says September 20th. Right there. Great. You guys have made my day by beating up Garlic. All right. So now, since everybody's being held in contempt of court and all of that stuff and getting locked up for it if you're a Trump supporter, I wonder if Garlic is going to hold himself to the same standard.
Answer that's appropriate. When we are asking questions, we are the committee that is responsible for your creation, for your existence of your department. You cannot continue to give us these answers.
Thank you, John.
Aren't you, in fact, in contempt of Congress when you refuse to answer?
Congressman, I have the greatest respect for Congress. I also have the greatest respect for the Constitution and laws of the United States. The protection of pending investigations and ongoing investigations, as I briefly discussed in another dialogue a few moments ago, goes back to the separation of powers, which gives to the...
Here comes that word salad. Yeah. Go get me some salad dressing. So you hear the word salad? You hear Nicodemus up in there brewing up something. So here he is talking about I got the most respect for the Constitution and the institution. And what else am I supposed to say that sounds good, but I totally do the opposite. Do you know what? I respect Congress. It is the best and all of that stuff. All of these lazy retaliation. So let's finish hearing his assault after this guy asked him that tough question.
Executive branch, the sole authority to conduct prosecutions. It's a requirement of due process and respect for those who are under investigation, the protection of their civil rights.
Well, with all due respect,
I'm not liking style, Garland.
Iran-Contra was an ongoing investigation, and that didn't stop Congress from getting the answers.
Ooh.
And you're getting in the way of our constitutional duty. You're citing the Constitution.
Real punches.
I'm going to cite it. It's our constitutional duty to do oversight. Now, in that video, that was your answer to a question to me 2 years ago. When I said how many agents or assets of the government were present on January 5th and January 6th and agitating in the crowd to go into the Capitol and how many went into the Capitol. Can you answer that now?
No.
I don't know the answer to that.
Holy moly. I loved it this round right here. You're telling me after 2.5 years later, you know how many folks that is estimated to be being brought in on some more charges. We're looking at about 2,000 more coming. You know where all these folks are across the country and you're going after them 2 years later, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But in 2 years, you were unable to find out how many assets were in that crowd. No interest and no desire to find out. No, not at all.
Oh, last time, you don't know how many there were or there were none?
I don't know the answer to either of those questions. If there were any, I don't know how many.
You've
I don't know whether there are any.
I think you may have just perjured yourself that
The
you
whole
don't know
time.
that there were any. You want to say that again? That you don't know that there were
I have
any?
no personal knowledge of this matter. I think what I said the last time.
You've had
Can you believe these fools? These dudes, man, it's unreal to me. Come straight up there to Congress. We're just going to start arresting a whole bunch of Americans and make it appear that this whole thing was organic, had nothing to do with any plants. And then we find out that there were agents in the audience, and yet you don't even want to find out how many. Because guess what? Could it be that either you're okay with them being there or you actually was responsible for them being in there? Could it be that you knew that this would open up a big fat psyop, a big fat false flag, and you're okay with it? That's why you don't want to get to the bottom of it. You don't want to know that answer, because if the answer comes back, we had 90 different agents in the audience. Why? Why were they in the audience? I don't care what organization they were a part of, what department. I don't care if they was Homeland Security versus FBI versus DOJ. I don't care. The point is, why did you have them in there, and what was their role? And why do we see body cam footage of them encouraging the so-called insurrection? Why couldn't they answer questions like, were there MAGA dress-ups inside the Capitol prior to them breaching it? Surely you can understand that sources, and that should be no. You heard Clay, should be no. But yet, nobody wants to get to the bottom of that. Everybody wants to be vague. I don't know the answer to that. Honestly, I didn't even try to find out. You would think if you wanted a real investigation, you would put together all the puzzle pieces. You would be going, well, wait a minute. Did these folks contribute to the insurrection? And then the other question is, even the ones that we've already identified. And so body camera footage of them saying, that's right, let's go America, and just breach the Capitol and host them up and all of that mess. Have they been brought in on charges? Is it the role of these undercover, whoever they are, to encourage people to go in? I would think it would be their job to stop or prevent it, not participate in it. Could it be that's why that one FBI agent, every time that, what was his name? I forget his name. Down in Florida, was asking her, did any FBI agents, it's going to bother me. Cruz. When Cruz was asking her all those questions about, hey, look, were there any FBI agents that participated in, I can't answer that. Were any of them were violent? I can't answer that. Were any of them, I can't, look, I'm coming back with the same thing. I can't answer that. I can't answer that. No, yeah, no can do. I can't answer that. She could have wrote a whole new song, man. Could it be? So now this fool don't even want to get to the bottom of that. In 2 years, he ain't asked no other agencies, nothing, huh?
2 years to find out. And today, by the way, that was in reference to Ray Epps. And yesterday you indicted him. Isn't that a wonderful coincidence? On a misdemeanor. Meanwhile, you're sending grandmas to prison. You're putting people away for 20 years for merely filming. Some people weren't even there yet. You've got the guy on video who's saying go into the Capitol. He's directing people to the Capitol before the speech ends. He's at the site of the first breach. You've got all the goods on him, 10 videos, and it's an indictment for a misdemeanor? The American public isn't buying it.
We're not buying it because we all saw that big feet out there talking about, come on. The Capitol's that way. It's that way. We're going into the Capitol. We saw that Bigfoot whispering, and then the breach took place. We saw him out there peacefully though, briefly. Fit. We saw all of that mess. You can't have a Bigfoot. You can't stick a Bigfoot in a crowd and nobody recognizes it. We know what a Bigfoot looks like, garlic. So you stick the Bigfoot out there, and now you want to go ahead and lock the Bigfoot up. But you didn't lock him up, did you? Like you did the other guy. 20-some years. I don't see no footage of that guy talking about, we got to go into the Capitol. You know what? Yeah, we got to go in. The Capitol's there. I didn't see no footage. The guy wasn't even there. And he got 20 years. But the Bigfoot, the only person who we know that was out there promoting, preaching, and going into the Capitol and all that stuff, that man got a slap on the wrist. Now, I wonder how Mayor Garlick is going to explain this.
I yield the balance of my time to Chairman Jordan.
May I answer the question?
I'm going to ask you one now. We'll let the gentleman.
Yes, give us a weak answer.
Go ahead, but
In discovery, in the cases that were filed with respect to January 6, the Justice Department prosecutors provided whatever information they had about the question that you're asking. With respect to Mr. Epps.
Now you hear him staggering through this? You hear him staggering through this mug? Because he is completely standing up drunk right now. He's knocked out on his feet. The answer to it is that I'm going to fumble through this because it's not going to make any sense because everybody can see through me. I'm a corrupt cop.
The FBI has said that he was not an employee or informant of the
Carefully.
FBI.
You hear that? That Mr. Epps, the FBI said he was not an informant of the FBI. Okay. Then with who else? That's my question. So if he wasn't an informant of the FBI, then he had to be an informant of some other agency for him to get the sweetest deal out of all the J6 folks. The only guy with the biggest mouth, the biggest everything, got the sweetest deal out of everybody else. So he had to be a part of somebody's agency. And Mayor Garlick's not even curious. He's just going to take the FBI's word, and he carefully crafted that statement. Not a part of the FBI. But he didn't say it not a part of any other agency.
Mr. Epps has been charged, and there's a proceeding, I believe, going
Slap him on the way out.
on that subject.
the charge is a joke. I yield to the chairman.
Oh, bink! One last beautiful Popeye punch right out the ring. He brought that on himself. Gonna try to belittle our intelligence with that bull crap. Talking about some he was charged, but what, he gets to stay home? Misdemeanor, go back to the crib, go back to his nice bungalow, his dang going RV, traveling across the land, kicking up sand. A sheriff posse should be on his trail, okay? So that guy right there gets a slap on the wrist, and Mayor Garlick got to try to feed us some doo-doo and tell us it's chocolate, while they're still running around the country chasing down other people who didn't do anything close to what Ray Epps did. All the answers that this man dropped out throughout this whole show tonight is garbage. Word salad after word salad, deflection after deflection. He didn't block one punch. Every person who challenged him had a free range shot right into that big fat rat nose, and he deserved it. He deserved it, man. And honestly, there's a couple clips that I didn't even include in this that popped up, and I'm like, ooh, I'm gonna have to slide those in amongst some other things as well. So there you have it. That's our best right there, guys. That's our top cop in the United States. Are you proud? Aren't you proud to have that guy up there? Yeah, So there you have it. You would be proud if you were a nasty, stinking, corrupt Democrat. That's the only way you would be proud. See, because I'm sitting there embarrassed and upset. So God bless y'all. God bless America. I finished on time, y'all. Look at that. It's 8:03. Ha, yeah. I'm willing to, and I even started late. So, I definitely have to get myself back together here. I'm lethargic, that's all it is. I'm just real drained, even though when I start the show, I get kind of pumped up. Y'all bring it out of me. But right after I crash, y'all, after I be like, ugh. So I've been meaning to definitely cut up these clips. And, I have great intentions right after. Get done like, oh yeah, I'm about to cut up these clips and put them on action. I'm about to... Woo, 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 woo. Yeah, Big Bird. Go straight Big Bird. So, but please, if you can, support what I'm doing by sharing my videos, liking my videos. Don't forget, these are all converted into podcasts. And not only that, please subscribe to my other channel, which is Stop and Think About It, which I'm locked up over here. The heck is going on? A bunch of bull crap. This is a bunch of something. Okay, wait, there I am. I'm moving again. Anyway, and then finally, don't forget my little fundraiser. If you can help out, the link is below this video. Right at the very top is a button you can click. I'm doing a $5 fundraiser for, I think we got maybe 19 days left, somewhere around there. So anything you guys can do that can help, that'd be great. Might even cover me with some of my sniffle issues. Who knows? Yeah, I'm fighting it, though. Man, where's my man cup? Sipping on some tea and honey, y'all. That's good, Nancy. That's good. So God bless y'all. And God bless America. We'll be back tomorrow, y'all. Lord willing. Thank you, Don. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Thanks for all the support. And I appreciate you guys. And please call this, not call this number, but text this number, text MAGA to this number so I can keep you informed. I still have to go in and but just verify those that have been texting this number that you are now in Kevin's Corner. That's another thing on the list that I just be like, wah, wah. So it's 330-974-4607 and just text MAGA to that number. But boy, when I come back, when I get my full energy back, I'm coming back bigger and better than ever. All right, I'll see y'all next time in Kevin's Corner. Take care. Where's my man hat? Dogs, did y'all take my hat? Who took my hat? Somebody must have took my hat, so I'm gonna have to rock the bob. Oh, yeah. That's right, man. Yeah. Yeah, man. God bless. See y'all next time in Kevin's Corner. Take care.